Let me ask you something uncomfortable. When you check your bank account, do you actually recognize the decisions that led you there? Or does it feel like your money is living a separate life, one where you're just reacting after the fact? Because if you don't recognize the path, you're not in control of the destination, and that thought alone should bother you more than it probably does. Not because you're careless, not because you're irresponsible, but because most adults slowly lose control of their money without ever noticing the moment it happened. My name is Jonathan, and I spend way too much time thinking about the quiet systems that run people's financial lives while they're busy doing everything right. If you're someone who works, pays bills, and still feels like money moves faster than your understanding of it, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Here's the truth most people don't like hearing. The biggest money mistake adults make doesn't feel like a mistake. It feels like maturity. It feels like responsibility. It feels like having your life together. And that's exactly why it's so dangerous. Because the moment money stops demanding your attention is the moment it starts making decisions without you. Think about how often you actively decide where your money goes. Not the first time you set things up, not years ago. I mean now. If that question makes you pause, that pause is important because most people don't spend their money consciously anymore. Their money leaves on schedules, quietly, predictably, automatically. And automation doesn't feel like spending. It feels like nothing, which is exactly the problem. Here's what most people don't realize. Your brain needs friction to stay engaged. It needs moments of pause, moments of choice, moments where something feels real. Automation removes all of that. And when effort disappears, awareness disappears with it. So let me ask you this. If money leaves your bank account without effort, when exactly would your brain step in and say, "Hold on, is this still worth it?" It doesn't. That's why people don't feel the cost when the money leaves. They feel it later when they check their account and feel confused instead of informed. Confusion is always a sign that decisions happened without awareness. Now, you might be thinking, automation keeps me organized. It keeps me from missing things. And you're right. Organization isn't the problem. Unquestioned organization is. Because automation doesn't just pay bills. It preserves habits. It locks past decisions into the present. And the longer something runs automatically, the more normal it feels. Normal expenses, normal stress, normal pressure to keep up. But normal doesn't mean intentional. It just means familiar. Let's talk about lifestyle for a moment. Have you noticed how your standard of living slowly adjusts without asking for permission? Nothing dramatic, just slightly better defaults, slightly more convenience, slightly fewer reasons to say no. And if someone asked you why you need those things, you'd struggle to explain, not because they're useless, but because they quietly became part of your identity. This is where it gets really interesting. Automation doesn't just shape spending, it shapes what feels necessary. Your money stops reflecting your values and starts reflecting what you've gotten used to. And here's a question that cuts deeper than most people expect. If nothing about your financial system changes from this point forward, are you comfortable with where it leads? Not what you hope happens, not what you plan to do eventually, the actual direction. This is why so many adults feel stuck even while doing everything responsibly. They work, they pay bills, they avoid obvious mistakes, but their system is quietly working against them. And here's the part most people never realize. This isn't a discipline problem, it's a structural one. People don't lose control of their money because they're reckless. They lose control because they removed themselves from the process. And when you're no longer part of the process, your money stops reflecting your priorities. Instead, it reflects momentum. Now, let's talk about the most common automatic money mistake adults make. They automate what leaves their life and hope what builds their future will somehow take care of itself. And hope is not a strategy. This is why so many people feel like they're constantly catching up. Their money is already assigned before they ever touch it. By the time they think about saving, investing, or changing direction, there's nothing to work with. And here's the uncomfortable realization. When everything is automatic, nothing is intentional. This is where awareness has to come back in, not through guilt, not through restriction, but through questioning. Instead of asking, "Is this bad?" ask, "Is this still aligned with who I am now?" Instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" ask, "Would I actively choose this again today?" Those questions wake your brain up, because awareness always comes before control. Now, some people hear this and think the solution is to remove all automation. That's not the goal. Automation isn't the enemy. Unconscious automation is. The goal is to decide what deserves to run without supervision and what doesn't. Some things should be automatic. Others should require friction, because friction creates pause. Pause creates choice. Choice creates control. Let me challenge you with something simple. If every automatic expense stopped tomorrow, which ones would you immediately restart and which ones would quietly disappear? Your answer tells you everything you need to know, because anything you wouldn't actively restart is already stealing attention from your future. And here's the surprising part. When people fix this one mistake, they don't just improve financially. They feel lighter, calmer, more grounded, because confusion disappears and clarity is powerful. When you know where your money is going, stress loses its grip, not because life gets cheaper, but because uncertainty gets smaller. This is what control actually feels like. Not perfection, not restriction, just awareness and intention. So if checking your bank account feels like guessing from understanding, that's not normal, even if it's common. It's a sign that your system needs your attention again. You don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need extreme discipline. You need to step back into the process, because money you don't consciously direct will always end up directing you. So let me leave you with the question we started with, but framed differently. When you check your bank account tomorrow, will you recognize the decisions that led you there? Or will you promise yourself, again, that you'll figure it out later? Because later is where this mistake lives. If this video made you uncomfortable in the right way, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment below. What's one automatic habit you're going to question after watching this video? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.